Students, as we are looking cardiac wall diseases, the next disease will be pericarditis. So what is pericardium? So pericardium is basically one kind of sac which is surrounded by the heart and made up of two layers. Outer is a fibrous pericardium and inner is a serous pericardium. And serous pericardium also have two layers, that is parietal and visceral, we all know that. And in between that pericardium there is a certain amount of fluid which is known as the pericardial fluid, which is around 50 ml with a clear plasma and ultrafiltrate between the two layers of the serous pericardium. Now what is the function of this? So basically function of the stabilization of the heart within the thoracic cavity. Whenever there is any active or hyper movement of the heart, it will be stabilized by this outer cover of the pericardium. The protection. Next one is a protection from the mechanical trauma or all kind of adjacent infections. Third one will be act as a lubricant and decrease the friction between the surface of the heart and wall of the chest during all kind of systole as well as diastole. Next one is a excessive dilation. Obviously the heart is has a one kind of contractile tissue, so whenever there is a over contraction or because of any abnormality or any kind of pathology within the endocardium and myocardium which leads to development of dilatation of the heart. So beyond capacity, if it is dilating, then ultimately this pericardium is controlling dilatation, excessive dilatation of the heart wall, most commonly all kind of regurgitation in the aortic and mitral valve. So that is the basic function of the pericardium. Now any kind of infection to this pericardium is considered as the pericarditis. We will see in each detail. So if you see the clinical part, so it is basically divided in two parts. Number one is clinical classification and etiological. In clinical classification, it has been divided in the again three parts, that is acute up to 6 weeks, subacute more than 6 weeks but less than 6 months, and chronic it is more than 6 months. In acute one, there will be always a certain amount of fibrinous involvement and effusive collections of the fluid inside the pericardium. In case of subacute, again there will be certain amount of effusion along with the constrictive that constrict the wall of the or area of the pericardium. And third one will be the chronic, will be more than 6 months. Here also it will be constrictive as well as effusive and certain amount of adhesive. So it will be adhere, or the two layers of the pericardium will be adhere accordingly, depends on the pathology. So this is how the clinical classification has been done, acute, subacute and chronic, and which part has been involved. In case of etiological classification, so for pneumonic we known as tumor. Number one is a trauma or tumor to the pericardium. Number two, the uremia. Number three is myocardial infarction, acute or post myocardial infarction. Other will be all kind of infection like viral, bacterial, fungal or TB. And last one is a rheumatoid, that is all kind of rheumatic disease or autoimmune disorders or radiation. This is the etiological classifications of the pericarditis. Now what are the clinical features? So initially it will start with the fever, malaise and myalgia. It is generalized pain over there. Common features of this kind of pericarditis, most commonly in the retroesternal pericardial and radiating somewhat to the trapezius, over the neck and the left arm of the shoulder, and it will mimic like an MI, but it is not MI. How it will be differ, that we will see with the special clinical features. Now some features which will reveal that it is not MI or special characteristic features are, it is more sharp compared to the MI. It is increased with the coughing, inspiration and swallowing procedures, and worse by the lying down, and relieved by the sitting and leaning forward. These are the clinical features are special for the pericarditis, which will not be seen in the kind of myocardial infarction. In the myocardial infarction, there will be always crushing like pain, while in the pericarditis will be sharp and pleuritic kind of pain. Radiation will be mostly in the trapezius and the ridge on the left side, while in the myocardial it may go up to the left arm, jaw and radiate up to the hand. Exertion does not happen with change with the pain, while any kind of exertion in the myocardial infarction will increase the pain. Position: supine position will be worse for the pericarditis, and myocardial infarction, no position will give the relief. And chase onset or duration: so onset will be always sudden, and onset lasts for the hours to sometime day and up to the week, while in case of myocardial infarction, it can be go anyway from many hours to many days, and decide up to what kind of emergency management has been revealed. Now pericardial rub and pleural rub. So other more feature is a pericardial rub. It can be heard over the cessation of the breathing. It is directly related with the breathing procedures, while in the myocardial infarction there will no much amount of breathing will be affected. So pericardial rub can be cessation during the breathing in case of an pericarditis, while in case of MI it will be heard only during the expiration. And pericardial rub will be heard over the sternum and sternal border, while in the myocardial infarction it will be on the lateral part of the chest. These are the different. In case of an ECG changes we see, so in case of an acute pericarditis there will be ST segment elevation in the many leads, while in case of myocardial infarction there will be ST segment anatomical elevation only seen in the anatomical contiguous leads. There will be ST segment depression with upward concave in the pericarditis, while in case of myocardial infarction there will be possible reciprocal depression on the ST segment. Then ST segment elevation will be seen along with no T wave inversion in the pericarditis, while in the T wave will be compensatory inversion in the lead with the myocardial infarction, and PR segment will go for depression, while there will be no PR depression in case of an acute myocardial infarction. So these are the basic clinical criteria to rule out what kind of disease or kind of emergency procedure will note out whether it is an MI or it is an acute pericarditis, and other history will reveal about what kind of patient is having issues with the current and past history. Now we'll see what are the clinical management will be seen, that all kind of analgesic treatment like codeine 15 to 30 milligram for 4 to 6 hours quarterly, and all kind of anti-inflammatory drugs like aspirin and corticosteroids. Sometime it is used, but preferably it is to be avoided. That of early onset will be always into 1 to 3 days, no more than a week in a pericarditis, but in case of an acute infection it can be large more than a week also. So this is the how it can be differentially diagnosed and treated in case of till the confirmation of diagnosis does not come. Now there will be certain amount difference on the constructive pericarditis, that will be take a chronic conditions. It will take more time, and differential diagnosis will be differ from the acute pericarditis.